Hey everyone, welcome in to another daily editorial here on the KE Report. Happy to introduce a new guest, which I think many of you know, Chen Lin. You can find Chen over at his website, chenpicks.com. Chen's newsletter, all about what is Chen buying, what is Chen selling. He's an active trader in the resource market, not just in metals, but we are going to be focusing mostly on metals here. And Chen, let's start off with copper. I was asking you off mic, and we were talking about a number of different commodities, and you isolated copper as one that you are the most excited about right now. Copper has been running very nicely this year. Recently, it is up to about that 450 level. It was slightly higher a couple days ago, but look at that move from early March through now early May. Chen, what do you like about copper? What's drawing you in more to this metal over some of the others?
Right. I like all the other metal as well. I actually almost forecast gold rise last year and then gold really top. I forecast silver. And then right now I feel right now at this moment in the short term, the movement is copper. Copper just broke $10,000 per ton. Okay. There's another big benchmark, 10,000. It broke that, went through that. I think this is the key resistance, but also we can talk about the dollar per pound as well. So it's just around 440 range. Okay, so it has a little bit retracement, but the key for copper, people say supply demand imbalance. I really like the thesis of the demand, rising demand instead of supply. We know all about Copper Panama. We know about this copper supply. And as you discussed, at $4 or $5 copper actually does not really encourage new copper mine. That's all the issue. You look at the permitting, all these, even Arizona, United States, around the world, even Mexico, in, South American countries. So copper need to move higher to encourage copper production. That's the first line. Second, it's just insane demand for this new technology. It's called AI for copper. Okay, if you follow all these, it's all on the internet. So everything is wide open. You can follow a few guys. One is called Mark Zuckerberg. One know. One is called Elon Musk. One is called, and then there are also people really do the groundwork, which is Microsoft. Microsoft is way ahead of everybody in AI, right? With open AI, is actually on my desktop. I can ask questions. Very, very convenient. I think a lot of people already start using that. So Microsoft already mentioned on their tweet, you can follow them, about a month ago, they said that they basically built a NVIDIA GPU, use that the one to build AI, 100,000 chips, 100,000 chips. They said they just cannot put it anywhere in the United States because it's crashing the grid. That's a statement. It's about a month ago. I'll show it in my presentation, the next presentation I have. Welcome. You can check. You can also check online. You can Google that yourself. So if you look at what earning call last week, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg saying he won't have 600,000 GPU chips. I mean, what kind of power requirement that will be, right? I'm talking to people in the industry. They say, all these AI data center, it's a long lead time. It could be years to build those. Okay, so basically this is the bottom line. It seems to be the major resistance for the AI revolution in the United States. Of course, we're only talking about United States because of data security. You cannot put the data even in Canada. I mean, I think the United States won't feel comfortable. I mean, obviously China with a big problem with TikTok. So the data, if you want to have data center AI research, build data center in the United States, there's a big shortage of power. Elon Musk did an interview about a couple months ago. He said United States will run out of power by 2025. This year is 2024. Okay, so basically his prediction is for out of power by 2025. I see it maybe even sooner because of all the companies, not just Meta, right? Amazon want to get in AI. I mean, even Apple want to get in AI. So where is the power requirement? All these need a lot of copper. That's the first move. And then second, you look at the the inventory, copper inventory, right? It's dropping in LME in United States, Chicago, CME, but actually rising very rapidly in China, if you notice that. And so I think that's another reason. I think either Chinese government is accumulating copper as a strategic reserve, or China realized copper it's needed for AI revolution. China trying to front run United States to accumulate some copper. So maybe both are true. So copper become a very, very critical metal. For investing, you want to be a little bit ahead of the crowd. Okay, you don't want to be behind it. So you want to see what's going to happen in the next few months. So this is what I see. In the next few months, our stupid Congress will start to recognize that we have a power is a critical path for United States to compete with other countries, mostly China, on AI, right? So we need to build a lot more power plant. We need to build a lot of power distribution. We need to upgrade our grid. So copper needed, copper badly needed. So become not just strategic metal, it's like a national security strategic metal. So I think a lot of people, when people recognize that, copper probably run to $6, $7, and I hope to take profit on it.
Well, copper has been running, right? And for those that do agree with this supply demand outlook where demand keeps on growing and supply has been in a way kind of restrained, sounds like you're focusing very much in the US. Does that mean you're looking at production companies, that the majors that have already moved in share price, or are you filtering down into some of the developers, some of those companies, which there are a number of them that have large resources, but just need the capital to actually build those projects? That build can take years, but what life cycle are you looking at for copper companies?
Right. So I have a kind of set rule, I mean, for dealing with those kind of situations, right? So I was months ago, early this year, I was telling investor newsletter, of course, I it's a paid advice, so I gave them whatever seemed the best advice. So it's to buy copper. So I own copper future, but it's very risky. Of course, not everybody is suitable to do that. And also copper, you can do ETF, you do miners. But right now seems to be among the miners. I mostly own is called producer. I mean, not just miner producer. I used to own Tech, and Tech had a big run because of all the Glencore takeover. I sold it. I have a Hot Bay. I own that. Had a big run. Am I going to buy it now? No, I'm not sure I want to buy at this price. If there's a market correct, I may buy, add more. And also buy junior. Junior, we discussed, usually you can buy later and then have more run, right? So I have two copper juniors coming to my panel at the Metals Investment Forum. So those actually, I think three. I mean, anyway, I have quite a few copper juniors coming. One actually the Western Copper and Gold, that company has been there for a long time. So there's finally, I think it's about to get built, that mine. I've been the project a few times already. They have a new management team and very good track record. Sandeep Singh actually is my good friend. He had a great run in our Cisco when he ran our Cisco royalty, make me and my subscriber a lot of money. And then he came to Western Copper and Gold. Stock initially make a move, right now consolidate. I think investor can buy, especially on the down day. So that's just one example. I mean, if you like to see the change of election, for example, election coming in the United States, that some people want to bet Trump will come back to the office. There's actually very obvious copper play called Northern Dynasty, right? Last time Trump got elected, the stock went up eightfold. Right now, still currently the stock hasn't moved yet. So that's another thing you can think about, because Biden administration has furiously, they're very hard to try to deny the environmental permit with the new administration, and change can change very, very quickly.
So, Chen, are you filtering down into the juniors then? I thought you just said that you're sticking more to the futures and the bigger producers, but it sounds like you're starting to see some opportunities in these juniors that, quite frankly, just haven't moved.
Right, I'm buying. I just saying those are I just started to accumulate because the future and the big producer already moved. That tech already sold it, right? So it's harder to chase unless we have a big correction in the market. It's hard for me to chase. So for people who new to this, that's what I'm telling my subscribers right now is you can accumulate those juniors. Each junior has different thesis with it. If it works, you have a bigger move, actually, much bigger move than regular, than the mining company. The big miners may double, triple. I think in the last copper boom, I have company five, 10-fold, but that's extended for a long time. So, but junior can really be multi-baggers in a few months. So if you pick the right one.
So, do you like the juniors that are exploring, or do you like the juniors that have pounds in the ground?
Whatever is, I look at the situation. Okay. So the pound in the ground, the big resource always attraction, and then you want to have a setup. The stock has a catalyst coming, right? For Northern Density, it's election, election in a few months. If I have a change administration, the thesis, their Pebble project in Alaska will change completely. That's one of the greatest copper gold project in the world, right? It's Americans Yogo and so it's like it should be mine, in my opinion. It should be mine. Maybe it's even a second Biden administration. If he got reelected, he may give a green guy if he realized the copper is so important to American national security.
All right, let's move on to some other metals and the precious metals, gold and silver. Starting off with silver, as we were chatting off mic, you were outlining to me why you like silver so much, focused on the industrial uses. Please summarize the silver bull that you are seeing here.
Right. And so I have been talking about silver, especially in the solar panel in the PV industry for over a year now. Over a year ago, I presented silver as a new lithium. That's almost exactly 1 year ago. So it's becoming true. Okay, it's the engine behind the PV industry. We see the silver usage in the photovoltaic or solar panel doubled in the past 2 years very, very rapidly, right? So if you look at it right now, the silver deficit, the supply and demand gap, it actually is exactly the PV demand. So this is very, very easy to know. If PV demand is 200 million, as the Metal Focus Group and Silver Institute claim, the gap is 200 million. But I think they're wrong. I think if some people may have been watch a webcast, I had a heated exchange with the Metal Focus Group chief. I think their number is wrong, and I have the smoking gun, so I will present exactly my case in my next presentation at the Metal Investment Forum. Actually, I have all the number, okay, except my forecast 3 times more than theirs, and I have the number. I send the report to the Silver Institute president and chairman afterwards. I said, this is me, this is why they're wrong. So if you don't agree, tell me. So I haven't heard anything. So I think I'm right. I think that people, if you look at the number, you look at their estimate of 40 million, only 40 million ounce of increase of silver usage, only 20%, it's a joke. So that's another, that's another increased demand for PV industry this year. And also AI also have another big secondary drive on silver because United States need the power. The easiest, the quickest way to get the power up is solar panel. Okay, if you take years for nuclear power, even you have a natural gas power station, you need a permit process. Solar panel relatively easy. You just have a empty land and then put on solar panel. Nobody thinks it's a risk for environment or whatsoever. Actually, people would love it. So there's no issue. If Mark Zuckerberg wants his 600,000 GPU AI farm, he better get a solar panel. Seriously, that's the only way to get it quick. And if he waits 3 years, China will get ahead.
Okay, so you like the industrial uses of silver. What about the silver stocks then? Are you filtering into some of these smaller silver miners now that the price has moved higher simply because some of these guys that were producing at a loss quarter after quarter with the higher silver price, they could actually be generating some free cash flow?
Yeah, exactly. That's a moment you want to invest when the money losing company suddenly become a profitable company because their share price has been depressed for so long, and you can buy the asset penny on the dollar. And the asset, I mean, the mill, the tailing, all the permit, all the experience, everything, really a penny on the dollar what they have been built years ago, and then it was operating at a loss. So one thing we just talk a little bit is Guanajuato Silver. I just have a very good meeting with the CEO, James Anderson. He believe, okay, he will generate a lot of free cash flow at the current silver price. And then they just did a raise. The share was cut in half. That's good place to pick up some plays, right? So silver, if you believe silver is going higher. So of course, my thesis and my plan is very consistent across all the metal. Similar as copper, actually I got a large silver future, silver ETF, and then big silver mining company already. So they all up a lot. So a lot of company actually took some profit, take some off already. So but still a lot of opportunities, right? So especially in the junior space, if you keep your eye open. Another silver company I really like, they have been long delay because of the permit, the easement in Peru. It's called Cerro de Pasco. They should get the easement in the coming weeks. Okay, we're talking about weeks. They're very close. Just need the president to sign. That's the fifth easement in Peruvian history because it's a 1,500 page, so we need a departmental by departmental review. So once they got that, that will be a big one. They also have copper, so silver and copper, something very good. So it's like once you get a permit versus, waiting for 5 years for permit, it's a big event for the company. I hope you watch that.
So, Chen, how do you go about valuing these silver miners, these smaller silver miners that, yes, they should be turning profitable right now? How do you go about figuring out which one offers the best value proposition for a trade?
Exactly. That's a very good question. That's how experience come to place, right? So you look at first you look at the mining company, look at their balance sheet, right? So basically, I see it if they need to raise money or not raise, or they don't need to raise money, right? That's a key difference because raising money, you take a big haircut of the share price. So for the company, don't need to raise money already in, right? I was riding them high. Even company raise a little bit money through ATM, like a Coeur d'Leon, that has been best performer in the past this year, right? So, but that you can still buy it even because they just raise a little bit through ATM. So the company needs, like Guanajuato, they need a big raise. That's you want to stay away until they raise money, and also valuation is based on your silver price assumption. Okay, I believe silver will rise. We talk about that. Once silver go over 30, there's nothing to stop silver go to 50. This is a historical high. I think this time around we should go over 50. Okay, eventually there will be a spike, and because silver market is so tight, look at how much money pile into Bitcoin and other stuff, right? So just an investor to come in and move momentum, silver will spike. I think this time I think we could see triple digit silver, and then we'll come back in. Over long term, I think probably $40-$50 silver will be healthy for the silver producer there's some silver company can produce profitably. That's where you use to calculate, right? If you think long-term silver price will be 30 or 40 or 50, then you apply to the current company to see their cost base and see how much cash flow, how much money they can make. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, looking through the financial statements should get more interesting for these companies because of the fact that they shouldn't be bleeding money the way that they have. It's been a losing proposition for these companies to continue to produce silver at a loss, which does sometimes impact that whole supply demand imbalance too. But hey, maybe these guys are profitable now, but up at 50, or if you say $100, then they're definitely going to be profitable. Let's take it one step at a time, though. Let's also talk about gold real quick. Gold, it made a very nice run, has been on a very nice run, consolidating well above that $2,100 level as we're chatting. It has pulled back to about that $2,300 level, but overall, again, it was a pretty key breakout above and to all-time highs. What's your outlook for the gold price?
Yeah, I think gold go to probably 3 to 5 thousand at just you know this range. And the thing for gold is that as I outlined in the past 12 months or so, most buying actually from China, from Asia. So I put my presentation about 6 months ago. I show people how much premium Shanghai versus New York. I say, don't sell gold. At that time, gold hadn't break out yet. Don't sell because a lot of people are buying on the other side of the planet. And now it become true. And then you know why gold pull back to 2,300 this week and silver pull back to 26? China is on vacation. China has a big holiday for this week, and for the rest of the week they're off. So on the first day, China on holiday, gold hit 2,300, silver hit 26. It happened many, many times. There's all these institute who are recommending to short gold. Okay, I think one thing I follow is CPM group, right? They were recommending the short gold for a while. I mean, I will notice that they like to short gold when China is on holiday. Same thing for Chinese New Year. Early this year, Chinese New Year, gold dropped below 2,000. What happened was before China come back, and on the end of the week, gold come back, bounce back to 2,000. So all the Chinese buyers were so excited to see, gold drop below 2,000. That was a few months ago, okay, in Chinese New Year, early February. Actually, they never had a chance to buy gold at below 2,000 because gold bounced back. I suspect things will happen again this week, and then gold and silver bounce back to the end of the week. When Chinese buyer come back next week, they decided they cannot buy any cheap gold and silver anymore. So anyway, so that's my thesis. I think you should follow the buyers, real buyers, and then a lot of people. There's a various reason for Chinese to buy gold and silver, and one of this economic uncertainty, right? They have a very high saving rate. China has very high saving rate. The Chinese government is doing QE, right? Chinese government is doing cash for clunker. If you know that, it's almost like 2009. So think about the American in 2009. What do? They buy gold. So very naturally, you can see China is buying gold, and they just get started. That's my thing. It's just get started, and then young people buying gold. Half of my age are buying gold, and then there's massive paper asset. They put in the bank, they get 1% interest, even negative interest rate because inflation is higher than that. So they start to move, and then once this has momentum, this can really run. And finally, I just want to mention to you, in China, if you open up in Shanghai Future Exchange, you open up an account, you want to buy gold, sorry, there's a limit. You want to buy silver, there's a limit. You want to buy copper, there's a limit. Okay, so for all the audience in United States and Canada, which I think most of you cover, we are free to buy as much as we want.
What about the Western demand here, Chen? Because that's the thing. We've heard about the demand for gold in the East, but the demand for gold hasn't been there at all compared to what the East has been buying. And that also has filtered into the gold stocks, which have drastically lagged this move in the gold price. What are you seeing in terms of Western demand?
I think it will. Yeah, and Western has been selling gold, for various reasons. And you can see the gold ETF holding has been continue going down. I just talked to a fund manager recently. They said, "Well, gold silver have a pop. Now they got outflow. Can you believe it? Outflow of money because people say, oh, I got to, I finally make money. Let's take it out and let's buy some technology company or maybe Bitcoin or something else." I think they will regret it. They will regret it. I think gold move, it just got started. We just break out. And I see a much brighter long-term future. And 2000 area has been long resistant. We broke it out and we retest at 2300. If it holds, and we just continue to go up, grind up.
Well, Chen, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks for your insights on copper, silver, and gold. Very bullish on all of these. Hopefully, all those predictions do play out, and hopefully, that money filters more into the stocks. But we have seen some positive moves just in the last 2 months in a wide range of copper, silver, and even gold stocks. Still a long way to go on the upside for all of those, though, except for maybe some of the copper majors that are at all-time highs. Chen, great having you on the show. I'll be bringing you back on, hopefully on more of a monthly basis, talking markets and also diving into a few more stocks that you are trading. As a note, that Myth Metals Investor Forum coming up, I will be posting a link to that. So that's where all of you can register and listen to Chen's talk, it sounds like, on silver and also the companies he is bringing. Chen, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. Glad to